Hi there, this is Spencer with Xima Software. Today's tutorial is going to discuss how to set up recording within ACO, RingCentral, and have those recordings pulled to Xima CCaaS. A couple things to note about this. First is, if you want automatic recording within ACO, RingCentral, you've got to have premium licenses or higher. That's a limitation on the RingCentral via Cloud Office side. Now, also to reiterate, we do not make the recordings in Xima CCaaS. Rather, we pull those recordings based upon the production of those recordings within the platform. So let's just say, for instance, you have automatic recording set up or on-demand recording set up. Both of them are configured here under phone system, auto receptionist, general settings. Down here in the middle of the screen, notice that I have both on-demand and automatic set up to be recorded. Premium licenses allow for automatic call recording. Anything below that will allow for on-demand call recording. Both of them do produce recordings. As a result, Xima CCaaS can pull those recordings based upon the methodology in which you are, of course, recording. Now, let's just say, for instance, you're doing automatic call recording. A couple of pointers here. I'm going to go ahead and go here to extensions to record, click edit. I have 5 extensions here to be recorded. Now, 4 of them are enabled. One of them I want to talk about here is the Xima CCaaS 1. This is our Xima handset, meaning this is the handset that transfers calls to available agents. Depending upon your use case, you can have this recorded. That's not a problem. It's going to record everything that happens prior to being transferred to an agent. But that also allows for about 5 to 6 second delay while it plays this call's recorded message. If you do not want that recorded message and that delay, don't enable the handsets to be recorded. Otherwise, feel free to do so. It does not make a difference. However, at the very least, if you want your agents to be recorded, make sure your agents are set to record, both inbound and outbound. Click Save. Now that that's done, join me over here on Xima CCaaS. If you've set up the recording successfully, there is one more thing you've got to do, and that is, of course, go to the target platform configuration settings. We go in here. A couple things to note. Authenticated. This is an API in which we utilize to pull UC, Unified Communication Information, as well as call recording information across. And also there's an enable recording option set to yes. These both need to be enabled. So authenticated, go through with the super admin, sign in, and then approve that access. So super admin access, go in, authenticate, pulls information across, etc. In fact, I'll go ahead and show you that really quickly. Authenticate, it produces in here, enter in the email address in question. It's going to give me the information here, shows me the API information in which I am requesting access for. Download call recording content media. Notice that that is an option there with the API, so a very critical component in regards to this. All I got to do is click authorize, and you're good to go. Okay, so authenticated. So I'm going to exit out of that. That's the first step. Next thing is make a call. This can be a UC call, which means Unified Communication Call. That is a feature that is now available on via Cloud Office RingCentral, where you can now show information for internal calls, outbound calls, inbound DID calls, group calls, etc., not just contact center. So the recording aspect, the recording API, also utilizes UC APIs, meaning that you can record and show everything within Cradle to Grave. And I'll show you an example here. I'll run a quick query for the month of December so far today. There we go. And notice that we have several calls recorded here on the right-hand side. We see the recording column and then all of the corresponding recordings associated with that. Everything that is here, as far as logged in Cradle to Grave, is shown as logged in Cradle to Grave. We could expand that call and see all the information there. But most importantly, we can also play back that recording as it's been recorded within RingCentral ACO.
You breathe.
I'll go and pause that for now. But notice the inflection of the voice. We see all of that across here on the wavepad view. We can see all that information there. Now, additionally to this, we can also add notes. If you want to add notes to that, you can do that. If you want to download the entirety of the recording, you can click download and download the entirety of that recording. Just like that. Produces a WAV file for you. You can also go here to options and email that out. If I want to email that to a specific person, maybe a supervisor or another employee, if I have access to that, I can do it. And then, of course, create a snippet. I think probably one of the most beneficial aspects of this is I can create a snippet and download only a certain section of that call recording. Kind of neat in that respect, because let's say there's a really long call recording and there's a certain aspect you want to point out to an employee or supervisor or whatever else. There's only a minute you care about. You can download that minute and send that off instead. Either way, this is a really cool feature that now exists in via Cloud Office RingCentral for Cradle to Grave recording playback.